Hi FIN230 students. Today I'd just like to talk to you about the Assessment 3, which is due on the 20th of August. It's really the first assessment where you will be working on your own. Obviously we've had the blog posts, which have been fantastic up until now, and this assessment is more focused on assessing your individual understanding of some issues that we've already covered in the subject so far. So as you can see here, I've got the task, and I've just taken this out of the subject outline. It's exactly the same, and I've just put this document into the folder called Assessments and Marking Guide under the Resources tab. Just makes it a bit easier to talk it through rather than talking over the top of the subject outline. You can see you've got 3 questions here, each worth 5 marks, so the assessment is worth 15% overall. In question 1, we're posing a little scenario that you're a foreign exchange dealer. And really what this question is focusing on is not foreign exchange markets, which we've yet to study, but really the stuff that we covered in topic 1, where we talked about intermediated and direct financing, the role of brokers and dealers in those markets, and the different types of direct financing that you could have. And so that's what this question is really asking you about. Okay, the 3 types of capital markets. They would be auction, over the counter and intermediated, and talk about your role as a dealer within them and distinguish yourself from a stockbroker. So really that's what that task is about. In the second question, we've got you working on a couple of calculations. Valuing a 3-year bond, and then valuing a P-note. Okay, now these calculations have worked through examples embedded in the modules. Module 4 deals with the longer term pricing, so the bond pricing, and topic 3, rather, not module 4, topic 4 and topic 3. Topic 3 deals with the short-term instruments. So it's in those topics that you'll find work through whiteboard examples that I've recorded on how to actually tackle these. Textbooks work through them as well, and there's also lots of practice questions there in the review questions so that you can practice your technique before you attempt the assessment questions. In the last question, I'm asking you basically to talk about, we've got some inflation data that's just been released, what the likely impact is for the cash rate based on that inflation data. So in topic 4 you've studied how the Reserve Bank changes monetary policy. So what would be the likely change caused by the change in this inflation rate? You need to tell me how that change is going to happen. Okay, so it's a fairly straightforward assessment, I think, really trying to get you to focus on the main points of those topics. And then if we have a look at the marking criteria, you'll see the first one, the first criteria, and I've based these criteria on skills. So your written work including the calculations, so that includes question 2. I'm going to use this marking criteria across all 3 of those questions. It demonstrates skills and concepts. So in the first one I'm looking for a demonstration of your understanding between the different types of market. The second question I'm looking that you can use the appropriate formula and to calculate correctly the price of those instruments. And in the third one I'm looking to see that you've demonstrated some skills and concepts associated with inflation rates and then changes in cash rates. So this one I'm looking for that, particularly in the written ones. This one doesn't apply so much, this criteria, to question 2, but it certainly does to question 1 and 3, that you're basically backing up what you're saying with some evidence. Okay, so in other words, I'm not talking any deep research evidence here. I'm just saying if you say, for example, in question 3 that the cash rate is going to fall, you need to tell me why that is. Okay, what's it based on? And so that's what I'm looking for, a development of a structured argument, if you like, that if you say something's going to happen, you need to be able to support that. And in the first question, when you talk about the different types of markets, you need to provide some referencing for what you're basing that argument on. Okay? The third criteria is that your work is well written and well structured. So in other words, when you are talking about, for example, in the first question, auction markets, that you don't jump all over the place in the paragraph and start bringing every single type of market into that. Talk about one thing, then go on and talk about the next thing. So it's how you structure a response, how you write well with, topic sentences, starting paragraphs, what you're going to talk about in that paragraph. It's those types of skills that I'm assessing out under that criteria. It's not really related to content, it's more related to how you actually set out a good answer. Okay, and each of the, and again, I've got the HD in the first column, so each of those levels are defined under each of these criteria. Now the last one is referencing, and I'm an all or nothing girl on this one these days. You either correctly reference or I'm sending it back to you. Okay, that's where we've got to with this one, I'm afraid. If you need to brush up on referencing, I've provided the link there as to how to do it. But an important point on that is referencing isn't just about copying a whole paragraph from a textbook and then putting at the bottom Viney. Okay, that is not the correct way to write your answer anyhow. Okay, you need to paraphrase. You can certainly take the ideas from the text, but you need to express them in your own words. That's just not going to cut it, that we're taking whole paragraphs out of sources and then saying, but it's okay because I referenced it. Okay, it's not. You need to be able to explain it in your own words and reference the source of your ideas, certainly to the text, but not just copy whole paragraphs. Okay, because in rephrasing it, you are demonstrating to me that you understand what you're talking about, not just your ability to find the keyword in the text. Okay, so I think everyone should do really well on this assessment. I don't think it's particularly arduous. Of course, if you have any queries, please contact me. And I hope to see some great work submitted, and keep going with those blogs because you guys are doing an awesome job with that particular task. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.